Tony Newmeyer. I'm the author of the book, The 7-Minute Millionaire, How to Think Yourself Rich, and founder of Super Richer Academy. I've had the good fortune the other day to take a ride in a small, private, single-engine plane owned by a friend of mine. I can't remember the model, but my friend Mark, a professional pilot who flies for one of the big airlines, decided he was going to take my wife and me for breakfast. We arrived at the airport at about 6:30 a.m., so it was still a little chilly, but the sun was shining. The flight was less than an hour each way, and the day and the view were spectacular, as most days are in Scottsdale, Arizona. One of the things that struck me, though, was before the flight got underway, but I'll tell you about that in just a minute. I was happy to walk around the plane and do the pre-flight check, and make sure all the pieces were in place where they should be. Everything was, and that was good. Mark keeps his plane in a small private indoor hangar, so there isn't much chance of anyone would have tampered with the plane. But we checked everything, and it was all in place as it should be. Once we loaded ourselves into the four-seater, Mark pulled out a plastic-sized piece of paper with 3 columns and a few sections in each column. He began to look over the list and turn a few knobs, flick a few switches, and push some buttons as he methodically went down the list. Now, I know that pilots have checklists, but Mark has been flying most of his life, and the plane wasn't that complex like the big jets. I'm sure he had every move he needed to do memorized. I asked Mark, "Why do you use this checklist when I'm sure you know this by heart?" When I thought about his response, it made complete sense. He said, "It keeps me on track and prevents me from getting distracted. Also, I do things in a certain order. This helps prevent distraction and missing one of the steps." I didn't think about it much during the flight. I was enjoying the view and the experience. However, when I got home, I started to think about the importance of Mark's checklist and realized it is similar to a checklist that I use every day. I call mine the Daily Efficiency Organizer. It's a single side of one piece of paper that keeps me on task every day and helps me be sure that I get done what needs to get done. Connect with the people I need to connect with that day. It sets my priorities and keeps me from getting distracted or missing something just like Mark. And most importantly, it moves me closer towards creating and accomplishing the goals that I have set for myself, whether they are the small ones just for that day or the larger ones that may take years. As I thought about this more, I realized the power of the checklist system I use and have put together. I've always known about the method of creating prioritized to-do lists and marking off tasks as I complete them. I've done this for a very long time. It just really hit me like a ton of bricks on how big of an influence this one sheet of paper could make in a person's life. That's why I've decided to give it away for free on my website, tonynewmeyer.com. I tidied it up some and added a few instructions for you so it's easy to follow. It's very simple to use. Just fill in the blanks at the end of each day for the next day. It contains the projects you are working on and the needed tasks for that day to move you toward the goals, to-dos, appointments, and as I said, people you need to connect with that day. Whether you use my organizer or just write this out on a single piece of paper, the process of doing this frees your brain to think of other things during the evening and while you sleep. It can be, and really is, a freeing experience because you no longer need to remember what it is you're going to do the next day. At the start of each day, you have everything you must do and complete written down and right in front of you. Believe me when I say that having this list in front of you on your desk, wall, or computer will keep you focused like you've never been focused before. After my breakfast with Mark, about 45 minutes after landing, we all got back in the plane and he once again pulled out his list and to be sure he got everything done he needed to get done in that pre-flight check. This type of systemization ensures consistent results and safety for the passengers and crew. Systemization is what I like to do also. Create systems or step-by-step approaches that guide you from where you are today to where you want to go tomorrow. I believe that this is one of the things that many goal setters miss. It's the system by which they can in fact achieve their goals they're striving for. One of the thrills of the flight after we took off from base in Arizona Airport was just after we reached our cruising altitude. Mark turned to me, and through the intercom headset he said, "Do you want to take over?" Of course, I jumped at the chance, and I actually flew us all the way back to the home airport, and even brought us down to the approach altitude. This was a great deal of fun, and Mark said I did very well. I don't know if he was just being nice, but I do actually think I did pretty well. When you look at the big picture and the big longer-term goal, it can be sometimes get overwhelming. But when you're able to break it down into bite-sized, manageable tasks and then systemize your approach to accomplishing them, you are far likelier to achieve exactly what it is you're wanting to achieve. The other great thing about using your time efficiently is that you also have more quality downtime. We all need time to rejuvenate, and getting more done throughout the day and being more efficient allows us the extra time to do what we really enjoy. So I strongly encourage you to take charge of the time that you have by using my daily efficiency organizer. This one simple approach may be just what really helps you move to that super achiever status. I strongly encourage you to take charge of the time that you have by using my daily efficiency organizer. This one simple approach may be what really helps you move into that super richer status. So until next time, live rich and become a super richer.